That's the case with all children. Yeah, the right.
So I thought it was quite simple.
I can it's the right.
Right one.
Men are so sweet. Like his right hand, right side.
Although it is not.
So I'm glad we are done with this as well.
Somebody was sitting and somebody chair is empty.
No, I've seen that. We used to have a couple of classes there.
That's what I took it very strongly, and I'm just doing it.
So which classes do you make?
Namaste. Yeah, I'll just complete little Satyam Gnanam and then address the questions. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Shanti Shanti. Om Bhadram Karnebhih Shrunuyama Devaah Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraah Sthirairangaiस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swasti na Indro Vruddhashavaah Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedhaah Swasti nastarksho Arishtanemihi Swasti no Bruhaspatir Dadhatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vansharishibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyaha. Sarvo Paplavarahitah Pragnana Ghanah Pratyagartho Brahmaivahamasmi Brahmaivahamasmi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Oh. Though we said in the morning, but some of you were not there, so I'll conclude that part. Sat. What is the nature of Brahman? Shruti says Satyam, Gnanam, Anantam Brahma. And they say Satyadini, Satya, Gnan, Ananta are not adjectives. They are the Lakshanani. Swarupa Pratipadakani. It is not a quality, they talk of the nature. See, this is how the teaching is. This is where you have to see the implied meaning of the words. When Shruti says Satyam, generally we think Satyam means that which is there beyond time, all the time, which was, which is, and which will be, is Satyam. So we try to imagine an object, one of the objects in the world. There is some Brahman, I have to realize it. That's how they say. Brahman, that I have to experience it. That experiencing orientation, realization orientation is negated by the word Satyam. The definition Bhashyakara gave, Yadvastu yadrupena nishchitam tadrupena eva tishtati trikalepi tat satyam. That vastu, any object, yadrupena nishchitam tadrupam na vyabhicharati. It doesn't give up, doesn't change its swarupa, that is called Satyam. What is Anrutam? Yadrupena yadnishchitam tad tadrupam vyabhicharati. Tad Anrutam. Whatever you ascertain, this is like this, and if it changes its nature, then that vastu is called Anrutam. Now what is Satyam? Then Shruti says, if you look at the whole world, everything is Anrutam. Because two reasons. Constantly changing. Everything is changing. Even the changes are not visible so much, but they are there, like the mountains. We think they are same, but if you ask a geologist, he or she will tell this much is the age of this particular mountain. There is a change taking place. Entire creation is Anrutam. In other words, anything that is created has to be Anrutam. Anything that comes into existence at a time T1 has to be Anrutam. Because when it came into existence in this form, it was not there in this form. That means every karyam is Anutam. Listen to this. By saying Brahman is Satyam, the status of being Karya is negated. Since Karya is Anutam, Karanam is Satyam. So Brahman is Jagat Karanam is implied. Understand this. How word Satyam implies that Brahman is Jagat Karanam. Because it is not Karyam. Okay? Had it been Karyam, then it would become what? Anrutam. So Sat Brahma means Brahman is Jagat Karanam. Of course, this is not the topic of this particular section here. It will come in discussing the word Anantam. But what does it mean? This is a Lakshyartha. You have to take an implied meaning. Sat Brahma, it is always there. Is, that means you look around for some Brahman. By the word Sat, it is a Lakshanam. So Sat is Brahman, Brahman is Sat. Understand, by the word Sat, we are not referring an object. Morning I told you, when we say Maya, there is nothing, this is Maya. It is purely ontological word. What is similarly Sat? There is no Vastu which you can objectify as Sat, which you can experience as Sat. Why? Anything that is experienced, anything that is objectified is created. So status of being an object of knowledge is also negated by using the word Sat Brahma. It is not something to be experienced, meaning it is you, cannot be other than me. I quoted in the morning that mantras of Kena Upanishad. Na tatra vag gacchati na chakshur na manah. And then further, that means you cannot objectify. Then what it is? Shrotrasya shrotram manaso manoyat vachoha vacham sau pranasya pranityadi. That means self is Brahman. Two things. Sat Brahma means that which is Jagat Karanam and that which is self. That means Aham Jagat Karanam. That is knowledge. I am the cause of the world. Don't stop it by saying Atma is Sachidananda, Atma is Sakshi. No. The status of Sakshitvam is an imputation, adhyaropita on Atma, to negate Dehatma Bhava. But then if you say I am Sakshi, then there are so many Sakshis and many Sakshis. And when you say Sakshi, that means there is something Saksham, a witness, that means something witnessed. And there is a kriya of witnessing, Dvaitam, Gnatru, Gnana, Gneya, Bheda. No. That is the methodology of teaching. Adhyarop apvadabhyam nishprapancham prapanchate. Shruti does adhyaropa. That you are panchako avasthatraya sakshi. But that is not sakshi. That I who is the sakshi is sakshi available in all. That 13th chapter verse. Idam shariram kaunteya kshetra. Yo vetti tat kshetragna. The knower of this body is kshetragna. How many kshetragnas? Sarva kshetrekshu mam viddhi. There is only one. That this Brahma, the known meaning, that it is eternal, they translate, eternal consciousness, bliss, Satchidananda. No, Sat, two things. Sat means that is Jagat Karanam and Sat is I. So the knowledge is I am Jagat Karanam Brahma. Which I? Not physio-psycho. I will discuss, come further. That is pure consciousness. Is Jagat Karanam. This is to be understood. Satyam is also ontological word. There is no Maya outside. And no Prakriya is also Maya. What is ontology? As I said in the morning, it's a branch of science, physics, which talks about the reality of the particles. And reality is to be understood. It's cognitive. Satyam Brahma is cognitive, not experiential. Satyam Brahma is a cause. I am the cause. That doesn't mean you have to wait for pralaya and see, I created. That's not the one. This is all objectivity. Aham Jagat Karanam. And whatever is created is Vacha Rambhanam Vikaro Namadhyam. What is created is nothing but name and form. That's why the Vakya is Sadeva Saumya Idamagra Asi. Agre Srushtehe Prak Sadeva. Why Sadeva? These are again limitations of the word. There is no before creation. Creation is no before and after. Before is only with reference to creation. It is Satyam Brahma. Now, see, the known meaning of Satyam is knocked off. Correct? Implied meaning is Satyam Brahma is Jagat Karanam Brahma. Another implied meaning is you are that Jagat Karanam. Now, the question comes, what type of Karanam? There are primarily three: Upadana Karanam, Nimitta Karanam, and Sahakari Karanani. Like even pot. Upadana, material cause, is clay. An intelligent cause is potter. But you require accessories. You require that wheel. He requires a stick. He requires water to needle the clay. And he requires hands to needle it. All they are Sahakari Karanani. So what is that? If Brahman is Upadana Karanam, then it has to be Jadam, inert. Material is always inert. And if it is only Upadana Karanam, question comes, who is a Nimitta Karanam? Because Sat can be Jada also. And if it is Upadana Karanam, then what are the Sahakari Karanani? There is nothing. All it is three in one. Therefore that Mahimna Stotrakara says, Kimi Hakkim Kaya, Kim Upayas Tribhonam. There is only one. Therefore the next word is Gnanam Brahma. It is Satyam Brahma. That Satyam is Gnanam Brahma. Again, discussion will come. I will not go into the bhashya of the word Gnanam, but just to give an idea. It will take 4 or 5 classes. There are so many meanings of Gnanam. That's the beauty of language Sanskrit. Gnayate anena iti gnanam. The means of knowledge. The examples by which we can easily understand is those verses of 13th chapter. Puja Swamiji often used to take Amanityamadam Vittvam Ahimsa Kshanti Rarjavam Acharyopasanam Shaucham Sthairyamatma Vinigraha. Last line is Etad Gnanam iti Proktam. This is called Gnanam. Amanitvadi. Why Amanitvadi? Because through that you can know the self. That anything that which prepares your antakaranam for knowledge also is called knowledge. 13th chapter uses the word gnanam. Etad gnanam iti proktam agnanam yadanyatha. Anything else is ignorance. So what does it mean by gnanam? Knowing, janati iti gnanam, the knowledge. Vishesha gnanam, gata gnanam, pata gnanam, mata gnanam is also gnanam. And the third one is gnayate iti gnanam. That which is known is also called gnanam. So object of knowledge can be called gnanam. That vritti, vishakar vritti, or the knowledge is gnanam. And the means for knowing is also gnanam. What is the meaning of the word gnanam here? Here they says, none of the three meanings. There is the fourth meaning. Gnanam means gnapti swarupa. You have to take the root meaning of the gnanam. Exactly like this Gujarati. When somehow you don't have power failures here. Back home also nowadays very less compared to what we had before. But when there is a power failure, that's the right word in English. But in Gujarati they use the word light. The shining is light, and power is also, electricity is also called light. And there is a power failure, light gai. and light came. They used this. Whole over India. I don't know about Tamil and Kannada, Telugu. Hindi, they say it's the same. Light vai, light I. Which light? Not Vishesh light. So Gnanam is Vishesha Gnanam. That's a known meaning. That's a Vachyarth. Gatagnanam, Patagnanam, etc. So what is that light? Light is that principle because of which this light is light. The right word is power, electricity. Electricity is called as light because it causes light. These all gadgets, especially giving lights, are incapable of illumining anything without electricity. That's what is called tube light. But in Gujarat, you have to live there, that's a problem. When somehow the tube light doesn't work, that filament is gone, a colloquial word by electrician is dhoko. They don't call it tube light, that dhoko ja. Dhoko means it is incapable of illuminating. The illumination capacity of this particular instrument, throwing light capacity, is because of something, and that vastu is also called as light. So Gnanam Brahma is not knowledge of Brahman, not Akhandakar, blah blah blah, they talk like this. Gnanam is that Chaitanyam, we'll see, because of which a vritti is possible, because of which light is possible. That we'll see next time. Okay, let me finish the questions. With this introduction and conclusion, let me attend this. I don't know this question. I don't understand also. Taittiriya Upanishad teaches us that Satyam and Gnanam are the Lakshana of Brahman. Mandukya Upanishad says it is Alakshanam. Where does it say? Mantra 7. I have to see that. You mentioned that preparedness of the mind is important step for knowledge to take place. Prayer, chanting, etc. helps in preparing the mind. Question: could you please explain further what kind of prayers or practice one should follow? See, prayer means bhakti. One type of bhakti you are asking. Please understand, prayer or bhakti is not an action, not a kriya. Generally we call kriya as prayer, kriya as bhakti. Suppose somebody is doing japa, then you say, hey, what are you doing? Mala, japa mala. Oh, bhakti karte ho. You are doing bhakti. Suppose somebody does upvasa. Oh, bhakti. Kriya is a carrier. Bhakti is an attitude. What attitude? Or I would say bhakti is awareness of Ishvara. Surrendering Ishvara. That is bhakti. Action without surrender doesn't become bhakti. Even though maybe kriya may be same. Like even, we know in India, especially this Vallabhacharya, this Vaishnava, this hall which belongs to them, this Vaishnava Sampradaya, they have a form. that devotees will make mala also by their hand for Bhagwan. They will cook for Bhagwan. That is called Brahma Sambandha. And in vernacular, it is Marjadi. Marjadi means Maryadavan. They have that Maryada. And they can eat only that food. They impose discipline. Now look at this. A devotee making mala is a bhakti. But a florist making mala is not a bhakti. He is not making mala for Bhagwan. He is making mala for Lakshmi ji. He is not interested in Narayana. Because he is sure Lakshmi ji is there, Narayana will come behind. Maybe the reason. But he is not doing bhakti. I have seen millionaire. They have servants. But the servants are not allowed to clean puja room. So, kriya of cleaning is same. But it becomes prayer or bhakti by attitude. Understand first. So, when you ask me what kind of prayers you should do, you can elaborate this. Whom should we pray? How should we pray? That's not important for you. What invokes out of you attitude of surrender. If I use Pujya Swamiji's language, what invokes a devotee out of you, that's the best prayer for you. Any prayer. So therefore all prayers are same. There is no pagan prayer. Adivasi doing prayer in their own language and jumping and drawing and all that. And very sophisticated Vedic Pandita with doing chanting mantras, saswara, same. Because bhava, the action is a carrier for bhava. So depending upon your background, you do those actions which connects you to Ishvara, which invokes out of you a devotee, a person who surrenders. That is important. Generally, to begin with, it is good to do physical forms, puja, etc., because that activity becomes support to invoke that bhava. And then do some japa regularly. That's a better suggestion. Doing japa is a part of Hindu way of life. A child, Hindu, what is Hindu? Technically speaking, Shodasa Samskaravan Hindu, traditionally, who has been initiated into all Shodasa Samskara, beginning from Jatak Karma, Annaprasan, Karna, Ved, etc. And one of them is Yagnopavitam. The day Yagnopavitam is given, that day the child is, the boy or girl becomes eligible for Agni Karyam. You can't do Agni Karyam without Yagnopavitam. And he is to perform certain karmas, Samidadhanam and Sandhya Vandanam. And the part of Sandhya Vandanam is Gayatri Japa. So right from the age of 5 till you die, Japa is to be done. Therefore Bhagavan says, Yagnanam Japa Yagnosmi. So do some Japa if you can. You may have a question, what Japa? Again same answer. Depending upon your mindset and your samskaras, background, you can select. Therefore, we have 33 crores devatas. You are available. It is a background, upbringing, cultural, regional, mindset, etc. Like a simple example. A person like Gandhiji, Satyam, ahimsa. Will not like Krishna. मैं नहीं माखन खायो. Double meaning, you know. मैं नहीं माखन खायो और मैंने ही माखन खायो. Gandhi ji, it would be easy for him to relate to Rama. Vigrahavan Dharma. Sannyasa, easy to relate to Shiva. If there are some people who have tremendous feeling for mother, there is Ambaji. If there is motherliness, there is a Lala, Laddu Krishna, all available. So whatever, if I use American word, whichever Bhagavan gels with you, you get good vibes. You do that japa. That's all my answer is. While it is good to suspend any issues in the lap of Ishvara as the order for the time being, are we not learning to transcend this Dvaitam to be in it looks to that the questioner wants that when we say suspend the issues in the lap of Ishvara, that is order, that means we are learning to transcend this Advaita, this Dvaitan, to initiate it into Advaita. Is it not contrary to Advaita? No, it's not. Understand, Advaita doesn't mean no Ishvara. Advaita is, in spite of Dvaita, there is Advaita. As long as you have body, at a body level there is Dvaita. We are not talking of Advaita at a physical level, psychological level. Advaita is cognitive, that is consciousness. So you relate to Ishvara at Upadhi level. However, you have to accept the order. It is like people ask the question, Swamiji, you are Brahman, Brahman is everywhere, why don't you pass through wall? Why? They say typical. There is Brahman, so it is everywhere. You ask, Brahman is everywhere, why do you eat? The answer is, I don't eat. Body has to eat. So, and I don't say, I am body. Answer is, I have not to pass through. The question of passing through comes when I am not there. I am everywhere. Where is the question of passing? As long as body is there, it will be there. So you have to accept. Don't dismiss this Vyavharik Satta. You cannot. It's a reality. Remember, Bhagavad Pad Shankaracharya ji has almost not left a single Tirtha Kshetra, single Tirtha about which he has not composed a stotra. You will find stotra for Shiva, you will find stotra for Kashi Vishwanath, you will find stotra for Mrutyunjaya, that Ujjain Mahakala, you will find a stotra for Gangaji and Yamanaji also, and Badri Vishal also. They accept the reality, nothing wrong in it. If you talk of this Advaita, but the fact still remains, you have to drive the car, correct? You have to eat the food, correct? You have to wear the dress, correct? You have to wear only your shoes. You cannot pick up a good shoe and saying Advaita. I see Advaita. It doesn't work. You have to follow the order. Oh, I forgot. It is not mine. I thought everything is Brahman. I am Brahman. That doesn't work. You have to follow that. Irritation of the mind and body upadhi can be different type for different personalities of normal people, such as competitors, high achievers, type A personality, to depressed people, type D personalities. Would Sakshitvam be the main remedy? What other practices can be applied, like Pratipaksha Bhavana, loving kindness, etc.? They are useful, all this. But I would say these are all techniques. What causes irritation? Cause of irritation is not simply absence of pratipaksha, not absence of love and kindness. You love your children, you love your spouse, hopefully, but still get irritated, You do get irritated. This fellow, the celebrities are asked all kinds of questions. One celebrity was asked, what is the nature of your wife? What is her nature? How is her nature? He says, well, I can't say that, but I can tell my nature. I am very Sahishnu. I have a lot of titiksha. I don't know, I can't tell about her nature. This is called lakshartha. Implied meaning, telling the nature. So, you love people, but still irritation. You are kind to your pet, but still irritation. See, irritation is primarily caused by two reasons. All problems are ajnana karya. So clear. Your strong likes and dislikes, strong values, how it should be, how it should not be, causes irritation. Drada raga dveshas, ultimately. There is love, but I want it this way only. Irritation. There is kindness in this way. And secondly, sometimes irritation is out of habit. I go one step ahead. Anger is also because of strong values. I just don't like this. Therefore I get angry. Irritation is the first stage. Anger is the second stage. But it's strong raga dvesha. But anger tends to become habit. Insecurity, uncertainty, some people cannot handle. That incapacity to handle uncertainty causes irritation, anxiety. Then it becomes a nature, every time anxiety, like jerk reaction. They always have a jerk reaction. So please analyze. It will help, sakshitvam, etc. But it will continue because that root is not gone. The cause, the seed is not gone. Analyze. So what? Accept. This is how it is. You want your near and dear one to be different. Certain habits really irritates you. I have seen this. I'll tell you why. Then I learned that this is how it is. In America, it's totally different than India in some matters. Driving is different side. Okay, that is also a problem. So when I come here, I always go to a driver's seat to begin with. When I go back, by the time I am trained, it is time to go. So when I go back, my driver gives me the key. Swamiji, you want to drive? I said, here also people, Swamiji, you are driving? I said, no, it's orientation. Secondly, there when you say to my driver or anybody, chalo, they just start. Even if they don't know the place. Every Indian is GPS. Then confident GPS. This GPS they always take you to toll road, and longer route. Today morning only Chola followed her GPS. And this Kalpana Ben, they left behind us, but they reached earlier. Well, they had this GPS, and we had the internet GPS. So we got late. So every Indian is GPS. They start. Now the problem is, when I go to someone's house, out of respect, they come to see me off. And usually they don't wear chappals. summer, winter, they will stand out. Or whatever, in monsoon also, they come in India and they stand out. India is so hot a country. Now here, no driver will start without putting GPS. That takes 2 minutes. And sometimes, I'm so sensitive, I tell my driver, you put a belt, let us start the car. Stop somewhere and then we'll talk where to go. Suppose I have not told him where to go, because some dignitaries are coming, they treat me very respectfully and they themselves are respectable people. I don't like that I keep them on the gates, and when they are there, all written, their servants, all family, staff, they all will be waiting to see me off. So it's my rule, the driver is trained, first you start the car. Moment I sit, don't wait for me belting, don't wait for you, and then stop there, and then ask me where to go, Swamiji. Come on. But here they all put GPS. So it irritates me. Why? Because I am so conscious about moment to moment. Then I learn this is how it is. Accept it. This is America. I have to, for 2 days, I have to train myself, reminding. So irritation is because of my value. I don't like. This is my value. I don't want them to waste their minute. And I don't like them to standing outside to seeing me off. They are big people. But if that value is not there, no irritation. So ultimately, our strong values causes. Understand? So, address values. That all it is called ragatvesh. Vairagya is this, not simply from money and vishayas. That's not Vairagya. This is Vairagya. Very subtle. Two things, remember, two aspects of Vairagya. The definition is Iha mutrartha bhogeshu ichharahityam. Viragakaha. No desire to enjoy. But people have raga for karma also. That's very dangerous. After 40s and 50s, what binds is karma raga, not karma phala raga. Like simple, one value for cleanliness. So everything should be in order. That's it. I can't stand disorder. Why? I don't know about here, but every teenage boy in India and mother, they are always shouting each other. You know why? The teenage are most disordered. Their clothes are thrown here and there. Like somebody said, this fellow said, I really love my clothes. You say, why? They are so surrendering. Moment I open the wardrobe, they fall at my feet. I always experience, whenever I go to someone's house for bhiksha or something, and the parents' rooms are upstairs and one boy's room ground floor, there is an order, make it neat. Swamiji is coming tomorrow. So he will put the things in order. And quite often she doesn't have time to supervise that. So she says, things are okay. You know what these youngsters do? So when I'm there, they say that because traveling and very hectic life I have. So they say, Swami, you want to use the loo? I said, yes. So I used to close the very door. And the moment I close the door, all jinns and all fall on my feet. Gujarati means damachio. All behind the door. That disorderly room is so irritating to mom. And now and then she will put the things in order. That is disorder for that fellow. He can't find his things. Today only it happened. Somebody came to Kutia. There are some books that I wanted you to see and tell, and I generally leave my key, room key, right on that table, because where to search? There is no place. So I leave there. So she cleaned the table, that lady, in the afternoon, and put everything in order. Key was not there. It is near the lamp. I searched and searched. What happened? The few books that were there, it went inside the books. So I had to remove it somehow clicked to me. I had to remove, and then I got that pouch. So that order is a disorder for me. Value. Irritation is caused because of your values. Whatever may be category, high achievers or depressed people, it is all because of our own values. Remember that Puja Swamiji's statement in relationship, very loaded. To the extent you accept the people or you allow the people to be what they are, to that extent you are happy. We think they should be the way I want to be happy. Leave them what they are. Not necessarily all the time, but there are certain areas where they will not change. You cannot improve. Remember, at that time, Rahul Gandhi, okay? Or American version you have, Donald Trump. You cannot change him in certain ways. He is what he is. So accept that, that's it. Connection between mindfulness and well-being has been positively researched by Western scientists. Please elaborate on similarities and differences between mindfulness and choiceless witnessing awareness. Today morning or yesterday also I told in meditation class, you don't need Western scientists. Our Patanjali and before Patanjali has been done. The mind affects the body and the body affects the mind. They are interconnected. And not only that, body impacts prana and it impacts mind. Prana impacts both body and mind impacts prana and body. Simple example, when you are irritated, angry, or there is a lust, the breath will go deep. It will not be normal breathing. And most of the gastro diseases are because of mental disturbances, including heart, which is a physical phenomenon, cholesterol and all causes blockade and all. Still, doctors will say, now learn to relax. The blockage is there because of cholesterol. Cholesterol is there because of food. So they say don't eat oily food and don't eat ghee and blah blah blah. Then why should they say be relaxed? It's psycho. It affects. Now, mindfulness and choiceless witnessing awareness. As I said, there is no choiceless witnessing awareness. The witnessing awareness is a temporary status given to Atma, that Atma is aware, Sakshi, to take out or to negate Dehatma Buddhi. When I say what is Drishyam is Anatma, seen is not I, body is seen or not, yes, that means to negate I sense from physio-psycho complex, temporarily the status of witnesshood is imputed, deliberately imputed on consciousness. But it is not so. Just now I explained in the class, it is not so. How does one see oneness of consciousness starting from physical universe to the self will describe a process. Is Drugdrishya Viveka enough or isness? How does one see? Attend classes. Satyam Gnanam Anantam Brahma. That's all. Seeing. You have to see physical universe is not one. It is dual. Duality will continue. It is cognitive. The process is Atma Vare Shrotavyaha Mantavyaha Nidhityasita. There is no other process. Then what you say, Drugdrishya Viveka is again Shrotavyaha. The text is summary or some essence of the Upanishadic teaching. Better study Upanishad directly. That's the only way out. As people have said, some rishis or gnanis are quick-tempered and lose their samatvam. They are irritated quickly. Is this due to some vasana in the body and mind? Can they overcome the vasana? Sakshitvam can certainly indicate an instance of temper rising, but does not prevent it. Or do they have to live with it, knowing that the irritation is in the mind only? But how do their supporters or students live with that irritating behavior? How do their students and supporters live with such rishis having that irritating behavior? Well, that I can't answer, because my guru never had that. So I have no experience of it. So how can I answer? I told you that vashi. One should be vashi. Navadvare pure dehi sarva karmani manasa sanyasya atmani aste vashi. Vashittam. Yata chittatma, etc. words were personified by Pujya Swamiji. Never. I told you. He never said sorry. Not because I will not say sorry, but never uttered a word where he had to take back. His speech was always the finished product of thinking. Ours is raw material to think. He never. So that means a deliberate life he lived. Anyway. 2, 3 things you can see. A classic example of irritation and anger is Durvasa, often getting irritated. But in Shastra, when a given Rishi irritates, when gets irritated or angry and curses, it is not his or her weakness. He becomes instrumental for manifestation of that karma phala. That Jivatma had to go through that karmas. Rishi becomes a nimitta for him to initiate that papam. Like classic story of Jai Vijaya preventing Lakshmi ji. So she becomes nimitta. They need to go there to exhaust some karmas. Now that irritation, it's not possible also logically. See, status of Rishitvam, being a Rishi, involves tremendous amount of tapas. Sarvagrahi tapas. Then only they can become a Rishi. Rishi means mantra drashtara. Their hearts were so pure because of upasana and tapas. Ishvara chose to manifest through them. The Vedic mantras are the swasa. Yasya nishvasitam Veda. It is a breath of Ishvara, prana. So Ishvara's prana manifests to them. How pious they must be. Like Vasudeva and Devaki. They say they have done so much of tapas. Vishuddham sattvam Vasudeva sangnitam. There is a vakya in Bhagavatam. Like 24 karat gold, absolute pure antakaranam is Vasudeva. Then only Bhagavan will manifest. Bhagavan will take birth to them. So rishis were tapasvis, vashis. They were not the one who would lose anger like that. You can do tapas and be angry. Like all our Rakshasas, they were kamis and krodhis. Because they did sakama. They did tapas for some trishna, from lobha. The rishis did tapas only nishkama, just for Ishwar Prityarth. They were not interested in anything. So that was a nishkama karma. So their antakarans were very pure. Understand? Therefore I said any curse or iteration by a rishi was only to give that respective karma phala to that person. Not so. And if at all some person has, so you have to make it as Shastra would call a word as anuvrittihi. That is upadhi maryada. But he or she has been so strong that upadhi maryada doesn't displace him. He doesn't move away from the wisdom. And if at all moves away, it's momentarily. Then he owns up what he or she is. Upadhi maryada. Very next moment, momentarily it may be because of prakriti. But next moment it's gone. He owns up what I am. Okay. So I guess supporters may be taking as prasada, Guru Krupa. Maybe I don't know how they take it. But it's a matter of Shraddha. You know. I have seen this, you know. It was so vivid to me. Pujya Swami Chinmayanji was a very disciplined person. And any indiscipline, he will just look like he got angry. He was very punctual about the time. He wanted students to be serious and study sincerely. If someone comes late, he will shout from the dais. His voice also was very articulate. You know? Don't get afraid, okay? I'm warning. Hey, you! He'll shout like that. Everybody. The next moment is gone. I have seen him closely. Next moment, or sometimes he will say Krishna, Krishna, Rama, Rama, over. They have some anchor. Immediately turbulence, over. So there I have seen few other Mahatmas also. Doesn't affect. Those of you who have seen or met Chinmayanji would know this. He was a different person. Rajarshi. He was so punctual. Chinmaya Mission celebrated some 50th year or 75th. I don't know. I was not there. That time President was Gyani Jail Singh. That Sardar. President of India. What a prarabdha. He came late and said something. On the dais he thrashed him. You, the politicians of India! Bombarded. Right? He was a not retired president, sitting president. But nobody had a courage to challenge him. He was a Rajarshi that way. But he was over. Swamiji used to give example, remember the Tanjore doll? Those days we used to have dolls. If you turn it, it will get back to the original position. There used to be those toys with a weight. So if it falls, immediately it gets straightened up. Similarly, in case some Prakriti is there, Prakriti. It doesn't. Guna guneshu prakrutih kriyamanani gunaih karmani sarvasha. Ahankar vimudatma kartahamiti manyate tattvavittu mahabaho gunakarma vibhagayoho guna guneshu vartante iti matva na sachyate. There is no identification. What behavior changes happen when there is a sense of completeness and fullness? For example, does one feel happiness all the time or compassion all the time? Don't think of experience, okay? Feeling happiness, then again you are creating some experiential reality. I have one family. They are jnanis, fullness. When I say, how are you, Swamiji? Are you okay, Swamiji? When did you come, Swamiji? All the time. Whole family. I can show you that guy, that woman and the husband. I'm not exaggerating, it's a fact. I used to wonder why Atmagnani is out. It's not that. You have the answer. How do you feel? Just opposite to what you feel now. You feel incompleteness. That is upadravaha, santapaha, irritation, free. Compassion is a fallout of wisdom. When you see it is mithya, and people suffering out of mithya vastu gives compassion. Like a child telling the parents, go up and bring. No, there is a ghost in the home. He tells daddy. Daddy says, not up. One is in front of me. There is no upstairs. It is here only. But you sympathize, the compassion. There is a shoka, there is a bhaya, there is a dukkha of a problem which is not legitimate. One who sees that fellow will naturally have a compassion. Therefore, gurus are paramakārunikaha, not simply karuna, paramakarunika. Karunaika sindho, that's an ocean of compassion, that is how it is. You feel fullness in a sense, you feel incompleteness also, limitations also. It doesn't mean wise doesn't feel limitation. It will feel, but knows that limitations are at upadhi, not me. That's a difference. Upadhi has limitations. I am the consciousness, and as long as I am alive, I am there in upadhi, I may have to go through limitations. That's all. Can you please explain the importance of Gayatri Mantra in our daily lives? Good. Why daily lives? Human life. See, human being, or let us right word is we are, cognitive being, basically. Buddhya nishchitya manasa sankalpya karmani karoti. Your cognition, your buddhi is your driving force, your values, your own definition of successful I. your own value about how the things and people should be, your value for money, your value for your look, your value for your house, everything drives the way of life. That means your view of life determines your way of life. Buddhi is like steering, accelerator, drives the car. If buddhi is okay, there is a clarity about what is proper and improper, what are the right goals, what are the right attitudes, then life will move in a right direction. If buddhi is unclear, then life will not move in a proper direction. There is a shloka. He says, Yam tu devaha rakshitum icchanti na dandamadaya ajapalavat. Yantu devaha dandaitum icchanti na dandamadaya ajapalavat. Like the cow herds protect their herd animals with a danda, with a stick. They will hit them, beat them or make sound, hit it on the ground going in a wrong direction. So they protect them. And if they want to punish, they give with a danda also. How does devatas do? Yam tu devaha rakshayintu vichanti. Sadbuddhya yojayanti tam. They connect with sadbuddhi. Prarabdha, your prarabdha for manifestation has a seed in some of your sankalpas at buddhi. Prarabdha is to fructify. Somehow you tend to take that sankalpa. Investments in stocks. If there is a prarabdha to make money, you happen to buy Apple stocks 15 years ago. You have a fortune today. And if you have prarabdha not to earn money, you had a stock and you sold it off. That's a prarabdha. So many people say, here also I am sure, Swamiji, when I bought this house, it was out of the city. We didn't have much funds. Now it's a prime location. Or even your sankalpa of coming to America. This is karma phala. It is important that you take a right sankalpa at a right time and a right place. 3. Sankalpa at a wrong place and wrong time. That's all accident is. You take a wrong sankalpa. That's all life is. So, Buddhi Shuddhi is very important. And whole Gayatri Mantra is a prayer for Buddhi Shuddhi. The main Vakya is Naha Diyaha Prachodayat. Rest are adjectives and adverbs. Who yat savituhu varenyam bhargaha tat asmakam naha diyaha prachodayat. Tat savitur varenyam bhargo dev. Savituhu devasya, bhargo devasya. Savituhu devasya, bhargo devasya, varenyam tat diyaha prachodayat. That Savita or Surya is symbol of Vishnu, Pratika. So those of you who are doing Sandhyavandanam must be chanting this mantra. Savitru Madhye Mandalavarti Narayanas Sarsijasana Sannivishtaha Keviravan Kamarakundala Kiriti Hari Hiranmaya Vapuhu. So Savita is an energy. And they say all energies are bioenergy only. So Surya is a Sthiti Karta. Vishnu is a Sthiti Karta. For Sthiti, you require a Shuddha Buddhi. So that's a prayer. that we pray every day. Quite often we take a decision with very, very limited data. And you wonder how you took that decision. In a hindsight, you may feel it was a correct decision or a wrong decision, but that time it looked right. Honestly, if you look at yourself, when you decided to marry a given person, even if he or she had dated each other for 6 months or 1 year, after 25 years, when you look back, you realize, I never knew this person would be so good. You didn't know. Very limited data. So, I take a right decision. Especially many of you studied in India. Why did you become engineer? Nobody knows. My friend was trying, I also applied. That's all. Our father said, I become engineer. I became engineer, became doctor. Nothing. And why I chose electrical or mechanical? No answer. Just took it. That's a grace. That you take a right decision at right time. And Gayatri Mantra prayer is invoking that grace. May I take a proper decision in a given circumstances, so that my life reaches the destination it is supposed to reach. The goal of life I may achieve properly. That is what it is. I told you other day, whole Ramayana or whole Mahabharata is nothing but one wrong decision. Why should Sita cross Lakshman Rekha? In spite of being told. And if you see any sensible woman, even local, forget about Devi, any sensible woman would not do this. Because when Ramana came, he came in this Vesha, Sadhu Vesha. So that Veshas are exploited since then. It is not new. Nowadays, you don't have asarams now. They are there from beginnings, So we have Sadashiva Samarambham, Shankaracharya Madhyamam. You chant beginning from Sadashiva, in between Shankara. Ravana Samarambham, Arjuna Madhyamam. He also proved her to be sadhu, wanted to kidnap Krishna's sister. He did the same. He came in this Vesha in the forest, those days, and told her, oh, beautiful woman. The very address is wrong. The sadhu always should say, hey Mate, Bhagavati, oh, beautiful woman, you are like a princess, queen. How come you are in the forest? That's none of your business. She should have told him. It was a clear indication that fellow's intentions are malefied. That to teach us one wrong decision. Yudhishthira playing a game of dice, one wrong decision. Why should he play? It was not dharma. It was a convention. Everybody does it. So we do it, like I gave you example. So some of the decisions are very, very impacting. May we not take such improper decisions. So Gayatri Mantra is very important. If buddhi is okay, your decisions will be okay, your karmas will be okay, life will be okay. That's it. For what is successful living? Do Gayatri daily. That's all. Successful living is Gayatri Japa daily. Okay. 2 things before we close. Couple of things I feel like sharing with you. Generally, It's not to tell what we do it, but just it's important. I think generally we remain the face in the crowd, but one important thing comes to my mind today because it happens to be Shankara Jayanti. I always felt that we have forgotten, Hindu society has forgotten Shankara. If he were not there, all of us would have been Muslims. Because the whole Rashtra was Buddha. And all Buddhist kingdoms are taken over by Muslims. Go to Indonesia, Malaysia, Myanmar, all Muslims. Because ahimsa, ahimsa. They stretch it too much. And he as though made a renaissance of Hindu Dharma. And when Shankara Jayanti, nobody remembers who is Shankaracharya. And they are all local gurus. Thousands of people gather and celebrate Jayantis and all. So first I tried to that Trivandrum airport to be named as Adi Shankara airport. After this government came, BJP, and they asked it, but the state didn't allow because communist Kerala. And you have to have their permission. So with our persuasion, we are building one big memorial in the name for Shankaracharya ji at Madhya Pradesh. His Vidyasthanam. From Kaladi he came to Omkareshwar, where his teacher Guru Govind Pada was there, and he studied Shastra there, and he wrote first Vishnu Sahasram Bhashya also there. And the Narmadashtakam was composed there, Namami Devi Narmadai. A story, you know. Some grace of Bhagavad Pada and blessings of Swamiji. Slowly, in Gujarati they say, Angli apit pocho pakdo. The fellow gave the finger, we held the hand. This he gave the hand, we held from the elbow. And we hold the whole person. So slowly, that Pada Prasarana Nyayana, we have taken the project to 3,000 crores. 108 feet long big statue is coming up in Omkareshwar. I started this work in 2016-17. And we did Jana Jagrana, public awakening. Created yatras. That is called Dhatu Sangrah Yatra. We collected metals. And I myself spent a month, but in between I had to run for some commitment as my life is. We traveled 30,000 villages, whole Madhya Pradesh, 4 yatras. Mine was a main Ujjaini, and when Shivraj CM himself was there to inaugurate and be with me. So we had a vanity van and government and every village welcoming us and donating metal. We made a rule that donate only copper. Otherwise they will donate gold and silver. And you know government officers who will keep the account and media. So, and Bhumi Pujan was done in 18 and expected that in the election the same government will come. But they lost. BJP lost. So the project was thrown into abeyance. He was kind enough, Shivrajji himself met the Congress CM, personally went to him. He is a great devotee. Said, let's have all differences aside. Obviously, new government will put away the projects of the previous government and have their own priorities. Says, let us not do in this case. Please don't do that. But still he did it. Fortunately, he didn't remove the trustees. So I continued to be on the board. Trust was made not defunct but dormant. And by a stroke of some Amit Shah and company, BJP came. So again we pushed him. And Then there will be whole Advaita. I mean, it's a statue of oneness, we call it. Statue of oneness. And there will be Advaita whole, some 20-acre memorial, 40-acre memorial. Like whole cultural center, huge one. And then I pushed third. Shankara was a teacher, so we bought 70 acres of land to create one international university for Hindu darshanas. So that's in the process. And we are training people also from now. I take, in spite of all this busy schedule, I take 4 camps for young boys and girls, men and women. We have 50 boys and girls coming, and we introduce what is Vedanta and what are the contemporary religion and all that, the course, residential course, and they are really from all sectors, like media reporters onwards, industrialists, politicians, all types of children come. So there is a need, they want it. So every 3 months I have one camp. Now this year I said I'll take 3 and some camp will go to Chinmaya Mission. I have taken 6 such camps, 10 days camps. And next one is in July. I am taking them to Rishikesh. And then after 4 camps, we call them at main office in Press Shivraj Singh, and they take a vow to devote their time and commit to this cause, and they are working. First phase, the statue would be ready by next year. Second phase, that Advaita memorial, will be there by 26. Huge one, like Akshardham, much better than that. And then the university. Both lands have been bought, and I'm sure it's a good news. Shankara would be as though, will brought back to the Hindu Samaj. That is one thing on Shankara Jayanti Day. There will be center of learning Shastra, research and digitalization and all kinds of things. And on the suggestions, generally our role now, Acharya Sabha, is more of guiding and suggesting, mentor role. Government of India has started the mission digitalization. They have digitalized some 4 or 5 million books of all Ayurveda, Bhagavata, anything, any heritage digitalized. So that's another good news. Down the line, all our Shastra, some of the Gnanam is luptam, is gone. That Dhanurveda is gone. That Sarpastra and all mantras, nobody has anything about it. But that now it will be saved. Central government has appointed a person and whole team and office and corporation, they do this. Anyway, and second issue is temple. Our temples are taken over by various state governments. Sometimes for genuine reason, mismanagement of the funds, etc. Sometimes for political reasons. Almost 8 lakhs, more than that, temples are with governments. It was an issue at the heart of Pujya Swamiji. So we started working way back in 2009. Collected some data and filed a case in Supreme Court in 2012 to release the temples from government control and mathas. You will be shocked to know that Hampi, Hindu Samrajya, Vidyaranya, Shringeri Acharya, his mata is under government. So if that sitting Shankaracharya buys a matchbox, he has to put a voucher. And that stupid Mamlatdar will pass it. Then only he can, because central government, state government. Even Kanchi Matha, one of the temple is under Tamil Nadu government. And anything going to government is all mismanagement of the funds and resources. Then we filed a case against 4 states, because to go to Supreme Court you should have more than 4 states. If you go to one state, then there is a go to High Court. And if you start with High Court, it will be Ram Mandir. 25 years in High Court, another 25 in Supreme Court. Endless. So we took little more time, but filed a case in 2012. That case has come for hearing. That's a good news, fortunately. And I managed, or God helped me, to get center. A notice has been issued to central government. The figures are so shocking. You think you are putting money into hundi, like Tirupati or Rameshwaram or Madurai or whatever. That hundi money goes to state government. Tirupati itself, only one temple, contributes 3,500 crores, not 1 crore, 2 crore, every year to Andhra government. Both of them are anti-Hindus. You know this, both Andhra and Telangana. But the money goes to them. That's the coffer of the state government. You don't know how they use it. I have the figures way back in 2004. All that money collected from temple and money spent on Hajj was same. So you can say your money was used in subsidizing Hajj Yatra. You thought you gave it to Bhagavan, but unfortunately it went to Allah. Some virus in the bank entry. That's all I can say. As per the estimate, 1,60,000 crores of Hindu rupees. 1,60,000 crores, which equals to a one monthly GST income of the center, almost. So we have given a slogan, Hindu money for Hindu cause, and I am fighting it and positioning and strategizing all these years. Fortunately, RSS is on board. Mohanji openly said that we are with Paramatmanji. RSS will do whatever they want us to do. It's a very complex issue. I may win the case. I will win the case, but then who will manage? That's a big issue. When the money is involved, everybody wants a share. And the same thing will happen. So during COVID and in between, I was working to evolve a scheme. I formed a team where 2 senior bar of the Supreme Court, High Court bars, High Court Chief Justice, Governor, Chief Secretaries and few others. We had almost 15-day, whole day working to formulate the scheme. And Constitution being concurrent, it's a state subject. Center cannot do anything. People tell me, why Modi can't do? Modi cannot do anything. And being a state subject, if a state passes a law, next government can repeal the law. Like in Karnataka, Yedurappa passed the law for Go Hatya Vadha. Next government Congress, they repealed it and started killing. So I am shooting for constitutional amendment. We have to change the amendment. So nowadays you will find there is another problem. Anybody knows starts pitching on the YouTube, pitching on social media. Nowadays there is awareness about temple should be given back to us and blah, blah, blah. This time Acharya Sabha, this topic was discussed and Amit Bhai was there, and of course I had briefed Narendra Bhai since 2012. I am keeping in, not 12, 14. I am keeping him aware about. Whenever I meet, I put him to ears. But you will keep hearing that. Now we have to create awareness. So Hindu money for Hindu cause. And Hindu temples for the Hindus, by the Hindus. That's our slogan. We have given, I think did we bring those material or we forgot that? I think I left in the ashram. I can live with Chola, some figures are there. I had kept some separate, in the searching the key I forgot. I had taken it, but I remember now I left it. That's where in between the key went. So, one good thing, and now another development, one very long impacting. Who is a Hindu and what are the basic acharas of Hindu? That's what we have initiated. Formally, the Shodasa Samskara was there and Veda was there. Now, so many sampradayas, so many groups. We are bringing about some common minimum program types, common minimum acharas. That thing is also coming. Because of one of our demands, the history is being changed. New education policy. Kashmir issue, education policy, CAA, all were our agenda in 2018 when the Sabha took place in Rajkot. This time it was Ahmedabad I hosted. So I am hopeful some long-lasting initiatives will impact Hindu dharma and culture. That's all I just thought of sharing with you because you will come to know. And I had some figures and books. I'll leave it, Chola. Those who want can collect. Namaste. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. And last, now we are opening up. So remain the face in the crowd. Deliberately we are not in social media. Because now every Tom, Dick and Harry talks about Hinduism. And a lot of confusion is being spread. So now we feel that we have to stand up for the cause. So we'll have a website, first time. I'll send you that. Please follow it. And we have a Twitter account also. But Acharya Sabha and one is mine, which I wrote. Acharya Sabha is the general, benign. But it is Swami PS 108. Please follow, and slowly we are starting now Facebook and all, Instagram and all that. Now Swami is coming social media. So please follow that. So we have to position the truth. Yes.
Swamiji and all fellow students, we are extremely blessed to be sitting in front of you, Swamiji, and to listen to the week-long discourse on Anandavalli. On behalf of our Vidya Center and from all of us, we owe you a debt of gratitude for all that you have done to teach us your wisdom of self-knowledge. I'm glad that after talking with you back and forth, and deciding upon Anandavalli Vaishnava, Brahmavid apnoti param. For a subject, you unfolded beautifully how to cognize that Brahman thought, which is you, the Lakshana Artha of Brahman, that Vastu, the existence of Satyam Jnanam Anantam, is ultimate Anandimamsa. Your explicit and precise examples of the subject were simple but very clear and powerful. Your teaching style with humor, everyone enjoyed very much. My prayers to Ishvara is to have an opportunity to learn from Acharya like yourself over and over again. Thank you, Swamiji, for your time and hope for more future visits to cultivate our wisdom. I hope your visit to Bay Area was comfortable and fruitful. This knowledge from Shastra can only be unfolded by teacher to Shishya. When we are serious about study of Shastra, then we have to make an effort to listen and learn from Acharyas who are ready to teach us and have traveled all over, all the way from India. I'm asking every one of them now, please send your suggestions. If you would like to send me some suggestions of how we did or how we can improve, and also the topics that you are interested learning from Swamiji, and how best we can have more people to benefit from this knowledge. I'll be happy to take the suggestions. Please send me WhatsApp or email. We will now begin to pay our respect to Swamiji, take his blessings. The envelopes are there, and everyone knows if you want to contribute to Swamiji, it is Anand Niketan Inc. is the check, or you can send via Venmo also at Anand-Niketan Inc. Or you can send Zelle or PayPal to Harsh Vidya Center. Thank you. Hari Om. Yeah, everybody's just gonna come and please start from here, and I'll just.
You may remove this first.
Whoever can stay back and help a little bit to clean up later. Kalpana.
બધો આનંદ આવે છે, એટલો બધો આનંદ આવે છે સાચે. ખરી વાત.
If there's anyone else, please come to the line.
I don't know.
Sit here. You can sit here.
હું હાથ પકડું તો છોડાય એવું ચાહીતો નસીબમાં હવે થાય ને
હવે તો પકડવો જ પડશે. હાથ પકડી રાખજો, પકડી રાખજો.
Don't say smile, say Rahul Gandhi.
See, immediately loud.
You don't need smile. Laughter will come. Very nice one. Great what you.
For you, Kailash Parakama,
Yeah. When did you do?
2003.
બધું મારી પાસે છે.
Great to see you.
No, they're done.
Next year again.
Yes.
So, yeah, I think last one.
It's like next year, right? So yeah, she is changing.
No responsibility. That's it. Yeah. Sakshi. Sure. We're all out of fruit.
Yeah, I have.
Actually, was that? Yeah. I just wanted to make a recommendation.
What frequencies? All the frequencies are there.
Technologists, hello, yes, they're in Facebook and Apple and all.
Buying a small local phone, pay as you go. Getting it in the USA.
I'm waiting for them.
Yes, ma'am.
Remembering so much.